Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Conversation with RMP. My guest tonight is Dr. Joshua Robert. He's an educator and entrepreneur, and he's a managing partner of the Palmiste Digg Bar and Grill and Restaurant. Dr. Joshua Robert, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. How are you?
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So can you just share a bit about yourself?
Well, I'm originally from Grand Roy in St. John's. I migrated to the United States at a tender age of 17. I lived in the United States for quite some time. Now currently I'm in Florida, but I went to school here in the United States, and that's when I earned my doctoral degree at Nova Southeastern University in the field of education and special education and instructional leadership and curriculum.
Okay. Can you please give us some insight of your childhood and your background?
Well, my childhood, my mom and dad was farmers. They were both farmers. Growing up as a teenager, I helped my mom on weekends. We went to I went to school like about three days per week, and during the other 2 days, Thursday and Fridays, I had to go and buy load. Like people say, buy oranges and grapefruits and things like that with my mom, so she could go into the market to sell. And that was our only mean of income. My dad was a farmer, so he farmed the land, and I had to wake up in the morning, go get the milk, and when he goes early in the morning, 5 o'clock or 4:30 in the morning, go milk the cow, and then I have to go into the garden, get the milk, and come back home. Have my mom, I think she used to dilute the milk so we could take it to the customers in the neighborhood. After that, I had to go to the river. I had to take my bath and get ready for school. So to me, it was a great experience. Growing up in that way gave me a lot of perspective in my life today.
So you earned your doctorate in the field of education. Tell us about your specialization in the educational field.
I was always interested in education. I think going to school here in Grenada, I had admired a few of my teachers, and I wanted to just be like them. So I migrated to the United States. When I lived in New York, I worked in for the depository trust where we deal with a lot of finances. But I always had in the back of my mind, I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher. So after I started college in New York, and then I moved to Florida, and then I decided I was also a police officer there, and after that, that education piece was still burning in me. So I decided to attend college, and I decided to go into special education, really, where I deal. And the reason for me going to special education, I remember when I was living in New York, my niece, who lived with us at the time, she went to school, and to me, she could not have learned, and I didn't understand. So when she come home from high school, to help her with her schoolwork, somehow she was not comprehension. Her comprehension skills was very low, and I used to beat her, saying, "Why can't you learn? Why can't you learn?" Well, of course, over time, I moved out to home, and I moved to Florida, and I had the opportunity to start working for one of the biggest school systems in the United States, and they were offering a class in special education. And I decided to say, you know what? Let me go in to understand why students like my niece had problems learning. And once I got into those classes and I started to understand the dynamics of the brain, and how students learn, then it got me very interested. So I decided to continue my education. And one of my specialties to work as a special education teacher. I train teachers, I do a lot of things in special education. And now I'm retired. I moved back home. So I would love to use my talents in the way where I could help students within special education. So, basically have teachers understand what they're going through and how to better serve them. And that's what I would like to do.
Okay, great. So now that you are retired, Do you have any plans to use your knowledge in the field of education to help students in Grenada?
Well, I sure do. I want to, but but again, the availability and given the opportunity to is a different story here.
True.
So coming from the diaspora and you come here to kind of help, I think people kind of get, I'm thinking that you want to come into the tough and do things, and they kind of is resistant. But I'm not giving up hope. Something has to be done, and one day, I guess I just want to use the talent that God gave me, because God gave me a special gift. He gave me that, the opportunity to be able to come back home. A lot of people leave Grenada and never come back home. And I
True.
always, growing up, I remember when my mom was taking me to the airport, she told me to take the two stones and throw behind my back, because that was it. I wasn't coming back home. And I said, no, mom, I want to make a difference. And I came back home. And my coming back home now is to make a difference for my countrymen. It's not about me anymore. Basically, I shouldn't say that I don't need anything, but God has blessed me. He has blessed me tremendously. So it's not about me, it's not about money, it's not about anything. It's just about giving back to my fellow Grenadians. The things
Yeah.
that I've gone to away and acquire. And I'm able to still have the breath of life and still have the strength to do. And I would love to, to help in whichever capacity that I can.
Okay. That's very commendable. Hmm. So you are in the process of launching a new business in Grenada in a few days. What is the name of the business, and how did you come up with the idea about the business with your business partners?
Well, the name of the business is the Dig Bar and Grill. We are located right in Palmiste St. John's, right in front of New School. And let me tell you how that vision was born. I used to come home every often. And then I think it was in July, one time in July, I came home and there were New was having graduation. And it just rained and rained and rained. And I sat there and I looked, and and that education thing in me, I said, I went home because my sister owned that piece of land right in front of the Nulo. And I went home and I said, Ruth, that's my sister. I said, you know what? Something just hit me. I was down the road and, there's graduation and everybody's dressed up, the people in their cars, and it just rained and rained and rained. And they couldn't have a real graduation because everybody was getting wet. And it was, and I said, that piece of land that we have down there, let's develop it into an event hall that we could, people like students like Mulo, because I know what it is like to I didn't graduate from, by the way, I went to Shaper and I didn't graduate because I think it wasn't necessary, because I just thought that, growing up in Grenada at that time, I couldn't have gotten a job. And that wasn't only the reason too, because my family, everybody had moved away. And most of them was in the United States. So I knew I had the opportunity to go to the United States. So I just didn't want to go to school here. But I'm coming back to what I was saying. Then I told my sister, hey, let's get together and do a event hall where students who, like me, did not have the opportunity to get a place to go, because in graduation in the United States is a big deal for everybody. And I've noticed it's like becoming the big deal here too. And I said, you know what? And I know every time there's a graduation ceremony, people have to go to St. George's and go to those big hotels and go to, and we charge a lot of money and get that thing. And I said, you know what? On the western side, right here in Guelph and Soteas and Victoria, even Grand Roy, Concord, the kids does not have a place where they could go and call their own and have a graduation. And that's when that idea was born. And then my sister, she agreed, and then I got my cousin, and he agreed. And then so we decided to form a partnership, and we decided to build that event hall. Now we are going to open, next Saturday. It's the time to have people, and not only for graduation. Now it's for people in the community who don't have a place to go. They finally will have some place to go on the weekend. Finally, will have some place to go to do something instead of just staying home and looking at each other. Got a place to go to enjoy life. Well, we offer several services, and I think we offer school graduation. We offer weddings and receptions, family reunions, holiday parties, birthday and christening, corporation events, lunches, charity gala and fundraiser, community and educational event, etc. So it's a come all, come one, come all. We don't want to exclude anybody. I know some people may say, oh well, we can't afford. Well, we could also have a packages where we could have it for somebody who have a small gala, somebody who have a small birthday party, somebody who have something small, because we don't want to exclude. It's a community based. I want it to be a community based, event where people could come, and don't let your pocket discourage you from coming. We have packages where you could pay over time to get those things done, because I really, really, really wanted to make a community out of what we have here in Palmiste, and work with the churches, work with the community event organizations, and do things like that. So we could. It's not about money. It's about having us as individuals, have some place to go and enjoy, our lives. Whichever how much we have left, we just want to do that.
So how do you plan to cater for your clients' unique needs?
Well, what again? As I said, we were talking about catering for our clients uniquely is a very noble thing. We are planning to maybe those are non-profit organization. We're planning to help them out the way they could also have their non-profit gala with us. And I'm thinking of Mulo School right there. I know a lot of those students, they probably want someplace. And I know Mulo, I spoke to the nun at Mulo, and she was talking about graduation, not registration. And she was sharing with me that her hall, sometimes they are so overpacked, and they need someplace bigger to have their registration events, because they can't handle the amount of people. And I'm happy to tell her. I was happy to tell her, hey, you know what? You could use our hall. It's okay. Of course, some of the bills have to be paid now. The water and the lights and things like that have to be paid. But I'm willing, because I'm about education. I'm about helping the less unfortunate, helping the student that, okay, they didn't go to college, but these are the same student that's going to come to our houses and do our lights. They're going to do our water. They're going to do our sewer. These are the same students who have that talent and have that gift that God gave them. So if I could play just a small part of that, I think my living would not be in vain. I think it's going to be for a good worthy cause.
So what set Palmiste Digg Bar and Grill, event hall, and restaurant apart from other catering and event venues in the area?
Well, okay. Well, if we talk about St. John's, we don't have such a situation. So a big place right up in St. John, or on the western side, except I think when we go all the way down to St. George's area. So what set it apart is that they give people an opportunity to have a nice upscale, nice scenery, nice place to go when they couldn't have gone. The prices are very competitive, or even better. We give the people to be, they could be whoever they want to be. They could, come in and bring their own stuff and do their own thing. We don't have to cater. We also have a catering service that if they need their food catered for them, but they could bring in their food. They could bring in their things to dress the hall. It's okay. We have that flexibility, so that would make us a little different than okay, this is what you have to do. This is our list. This is our prices. No, we will give you an opportunity to bring your own stuff in, but all you have to do is to respect the place and take your stuff with you when you finish. Of course, you can leave it for us. I mean, we're happy to take your donation, But the idea is that we want to give you something that you are able to have a great event where you could enjoy
Yeah.
your time and you could have memories that could last you for a lifetime.
Okay. So, what are some special events ideas you are planning to host in the future?
Well, some of the ideas I was thinking about, I was thinking about having a Sunday matinee where parents could bring their kids, they could have a big screen. Parents could bring their kids and they could have the kids just enjoy a movie. And the parents could sit outside because we have an outside area too, where the parents could sit outside and look at some television, or they could hang out with their friends or their loved ones and just look at things while the kids is away from them. Because sometimes we need to have our kids away from us and give parents free time. Also, and one of the things I've noticed here in Grenada is that the young people, those kids that's going to TAM CC, those kids that's going, that they don't have a place to enjoy themselves. So I'm thinking of maybe once per month, maybe on a Monday night, have the kids come in, bring your games in. Come in and we're going to give you a few hours. Come buy some things to eat. We're going to give you a chance to play with your friends. We're going to give you a chance to hang out, and then we're going to give you an opportunity to have a little party, dance with your friends. Have a good time, because these are things that those kids don't have an opportunity to do at this point. I'm also thinking about having a karaoke night where people could come out. Right now, we are starting oldies goodies nights. Where we have a promoter, a DJ, who's going to have an oldie goodie nights where the people, the older folks. Well, we know some of the young folks like those things also, but we have something where the older folks could come out and they could have a good time, because sometimes the older folks think, well, they have no place to go, so they could just stay home and pine away. No, I want to create an opportunity where they themselves could come out with their friends and hang dominoes or play some cards or whatever. But all these things are things that is going to be done in the future, because we are just starting up. So it will take a while to get there. But these are some ideas. And by all means, and I know we on social media, and by all means, if people on social media want to give us some more ideas, I'll be happy to accept all the ideas, so we could try to I want to make something vibrant for the western side, not only for the western side, but because I know nowadays we drive, everybody drives now, so people can come from all over the country just to come visit. It doesn't have to be a dance hall only. It could be a place where you just come and hang with your friends and have a good times, corporate events. I know the holidays, Christmas and New Year's and birth. Another thing that I was thinking about is to have the zodiac sign once per month. If say, like, I'm a Taurus, so let's suppose all Tauruses, okay, come on down. We have something for the Tauruses at night, and we have some, nice food and thing like that going on. So give people an opportunity to just enjoy, life, because it's life is worth living, and if you don't enjoy, what is it about living? I don't want to leave out the religious organizations. We also cater for the I'm spiritual myself. I do attend church. I go to church. I'm a soloist. I sing in the choir. I do a lot of things. So I want to also tell my religious people out there, you could come and have your conferences there. You could have your anniversary. You could do a lot of things. That this fly is getting in my face, but you could do a lot of things. So I want everybody to be a part of this, not only the clubs or the parties or the disco. Just come, because we are capable to host a whole lot of things that I said earlier.
So, what kind of menu options do you offer for different types of event?
Well, my niece is she's a graduate from La Croix and Blue in in Florida. So she has a repertoire. I mean, she's been doing this for over 10 years. So she has a repertoire of menus. So whatever someone need, we are able to provide it. You just have to let us know, and then my niece will put it together. And well, of course, she's based in New York, but we also have a local chef that will be able to provide whatever is needed for whichever organization or whichever event that is going to be had, whoever want to have an event. So it's all going to be something that, just let us know in advance, and we're able to get you what you need.
Okay. So what future plans or expansion do you have in store for Palmiste Digg Bar and Grill?
But right now we only have the first floor, but we're going to go on to a second floor where we're going to have an open setting where, we are just going to have probably the top, a kitchen, a bathroom, a changing room, but we're going to have the whole thing. By the way, our building is 90 by 30. It's long. It's 90 feet long and 30 feet wide. So, we have a whole range of area where we could do things, and we're going to try to do the same thing up top. But we are going to leave up top as an open setting where you could sit up there and you could view the ocean, you could view the mountains, you could view the traffic coming from the north and the south. So it's going to be a nice open setting where people would just want to come and just hang out and sit down and have a good time. But that's in the future. That's not the immediate plans, but these are our vision for the future.
Okay. So how has the community responded to your business since the dedication of the building to the current launching on
Well,
June 22nd?
I think the community has given, so we have received very, very positive comments and positive things about the building, because I think what happened, people was yearning for a place to go, especially on weekends. People was yearning for a place they could just leave home and just go someplace and sit down for a few hours and just be with their friends, have something good to eat, have a few drinks, maybe play a game of dominoes or cards or whatever. And so people would say, by the way, in the past there used to be a Palmer's Beach Club there, and that was one of the and I know maybe I'm outdated a whole lot of young people, but there used to be a Palmer's Beach Club there where it was a very, very hot spot. So we would want to create that same atmosphere. And I know times have changed, the people is different, but we would want to create something similar that people could just come and enjoy, and which each event we are going to hire, police officers, especially at night. So we're going to have the security personnel there that will keep you safe. So when you come, you wouldn't have to worry about, oh my God, would I be safe? No, we're gonna do with the Grenada Police Force, and we're going to hire security. So security going to be there at every night event that is being kept there. We're going to have security. So it's just a place that we want to make it into a family atmosphere. Bring your family, and I know people from overseas, they want to come and they want to have a reunion. They meet with their friends. Come on down. This is what it's all about. We want to make sure that we are catering for Grenadians, not only people in our community, but we are catering for Grenadians, because it's very rare that you have a Grenadian come back home and invest and bring something home to our people. I'm Grenadian at heart. I'm Grenadian by birth. I'm Grenadian at heart, and I say that I always tell my kids that I want to, when I die, if I don't die in Grenada, I want to be buried here, because this is what I want. This is what my dream was, come home, give back, and if I die here, live my body here. So that's my hope and that's my dream.
So in what way do you plan to give back to the community through your business operations?
Well, I think what we could do, we could do a lot of community service. Sometimes the schools. Again, I'm a big school person. I'm a big education person. So the schools will be really, really important to me. To give back, because I would like to help whichever way possible we can. We're going to help us school, and especially my alma mater. St. John's Christian University, Shaper. That's where I think that's where I got my knowledge. I think that's where I got my education. That's where I was open up to Grand White Government School too. But I think I really my brain got expanded when I started. I got to Form 3 and I decided because I wanted to move to America. But I think that's where my whole expansion of my mind came from was at Shaper. And I think this is what I would want to, not only them, but I think, when you have an alma mater, that's what you do. You help your people. I would also volunteer to go there and volunteer my time. Once my business gets settled down, I would go there and volunteer my time. Even to be a lecturer, go help the administration there, to do things because this again, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. So that's how I think I'm going to give back, or community based wise.
Okay. So, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs looking to venture into the restaurant and event industry?
What I would say, put God first in everything that you do. Put God, and I grew up in church, and I think God had made a special person in me. So I think you need to put God first and let God direct your path. I knew what I wanted from a child, but my mom grew me in church, and I think I'm getting emotional. But I think that God being your helper, God being your director,
Yeah.
without Him, I couldn't have been where I'm at today.
Yeah.
Without my mom, I couldn't have been where I'm at today. So what I would tell the young people who's trying to get into entrepreneurship, put God first, work hard, go out there and get the best education that you can. And in the meantime, don't forget who you are. Don't
Mhm.
forget where you came from. And then you know what? That will make all the difference.
Yeah.
And of course, you have to have mentors. You have to have mentors. There's people I didn't get where I'm at because of me. There was mentors in my life that I leaned on to get the advice that I do. I'm getting into that business here in Palmiste St. John's. I've never run an organization. I've never run a business. I've never done, what. But I have to say, thank God that some of the people that's around me, they are showing me the way. They're mentoring me. Although the buck stop with me, but some of the people that I'm working with, including you. You're doing so much for me, marketing wise. The things that you have done for me, I have no idea. I didn't have no idea what I could have done for myself. I've got several people here in Grenada that I could turn to say, hey, how do I do this? What do I do? How do I go about doing this? And you know what? People are so willing and able to help. And I'm saying, you know what? I got to give God the glory because without Him, I could not have been done what I'm doing now. Without
Mhm.
Him, there was nothing that I could have done. But all things is possible with Him.
Okay. So on the 22nd, start at 4 o'clock. So you can start from the time they're going to start and what they can expect when they get there.
Well, we are going to hopefully start at 4:30. That's the time. But we are going to have this our luncheon. It's not an opening because on I think was April 20th, we had the dedication of the building because I wanted to dedicate them, we wanted to dedicate the building to God first. So April 20th, the last April 20th, we dedicated to God. So that was a little opening then. But this time we're gonna do the launching for real now. So we're gonna continuously be open. But on Saturday, we're going to do it on the outside where we have a DJ and the DJ have some local artists that do the up and coming artists. We're going to have a bar. We're going to have food. We're going to have a few things going on. I invited our representative and a few people who's going to come and just talk about it. And then after that is over with, we are going to have an oldies goodies night. That the promoter is going to have a party for the oldies goodies night, and then from then we are going to start to operate the business on a regular basis.
Okay. So tell me about the opening day food specials.
Well, we can have fries, fried fish and fries, so $15. We can have a barbecue. Well, I don't think we're going to be doing the barbecue chicken and things anymore. But we're going to have a chicken and fries for $10. We're going to have a hot dogs and fries for $5, and we're going to have Mr. Wang Chinese lo mein, and that's going to be a $15 price. So we're going to have a bar, with several drinks and things like that. So we're gonna have like Shandy, Malta, Stag. We're gonna have Hennessy. We're gonna have Crown Royal, Seagrams, Johnny Walker. We're gonna have a few things that I'm sorry, we have a lot of flies running around here. I'm here in Grenada, by the way. So so I'm kind of the flies are flying all over. We're gonna have an olive grade vodka. We're gonna have Absolute. We're gonna have Smirnoff. We're gonna have fries. We're gonna have white and dark rum from Glasgow. We're gonna have there's several things, Campery. There's several things that we're gonna have on the menu that people could come and just enjoy. Wester Hall rum, and the people could come in and enjoy. Just have a beautiful time because that's what it's all about. We want people to come in and enjoy the side, but we asking is that you come and just respect the place because this is for you. When you come, just respect it, do what is done because we do it for you. And if you respect it, you're gonna have more events. But if you come and you decide to, destroy, then we're gonna have to be very selective. And this is not what we really want to do. We want to give everybody an opportunity. But so we're just asking, when you come, just come and enjoy a night out and let's go ahead and let's leave.
To Google the business, can I Google the business and get those information that you just spoke of?
Yes, you can. You can say Google the Palmiste Digg Bar and Grill, and that should pop up on you. Or JS at juno.com, or the Dig Bar and Grill at gmail.com.
Okay. And again, I'm just going to put up this picture of all the services that you provide just to refresh the people's mind, and again, just guys, this is all most of the services they can provide for you. Again, school graduation, weddings, receptions, family reunions, holiday parties, birthdays and christening, corporate event lunches, charity galas, fundraisers, community and educational events. Anything that you want, they will customize it for you. So reach out, let's support the locals, and let's make this great. Again, Dr. Robert, thank you for joining me, and it was a pleasure. And I'm so glad of what you're doing for the community. What you're doing is actually, commended, and I know the people do appreciate it. And I want to say thank you again for joining me. And we come to the end of the show, and I will see you on the other side.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course.